I'm back with my little yo-yo, and that's you know, that clip was put together in Ashaiman, you know, so that's my home city, you know. Well, well, it's good to be back. Good morning to you. I like your colors this morning. I think this time you are going to serve me well. Pink, summer green, you know, a lot of velvet and satins and things like that. As to why I'm not around. I took some sabbatical and some medical leave, you know. Charlie, but it's been okay. No. I'm going now till I think the close of next year, crap. But usually in December we have to take some 1 week off. Oh, we. Unless Mr. Elvis Kwashi will not agree. Oh. Because you know, during the festivity, so we have to. But this one is Hero from Stonebwoy, and we know that it's one of his latest tracks. He's one of the top artists we have in Ghana, man. So you were in this video because you said it was shot in Ashaiman? No, I think after he went around with the crew, you know, I got wind of it. And then I got to know that the guy was in a hood, man. You know, that time I had just gone to do some joints and I was just coming back. So you were in the mood? Yeah, you know. But listen, well, I was just going to say that I want to say thank you to Joseph Akable, because whilst you were not here, he kept me company. Yeah, I saw some good pictures. Ketsi, Derek Ekosam. He's looking like an MP this morning with a good smoke on him. I don't know who bought it for him, because I know he won't use his money to buy smoke. He doesn't have enough of it, so. But it was good. Right. But how are you? How are you? I'm good. You look a bit tired, I think. I do. Should I take the rest of the day off then? I think this week I need to give you Friday. Friday I'll be here alone. Look at you. Good morning if you're just joining us. For those of you who kept asking me, where's Roland? Well, he's back. I'm back. I'm back. He's back. Yeah, it's great to be back. We thank God that you're back, though. I'm happy. I'm happy. All right, so we get to share responsibilities more like. Yeah, it's true. It's time to do the paper review. We're going to be doing the newspapers, and then we'll turn our attention online and do some online review as well. Let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, front page of the Graphic. 241 school children killed in road crashes. The paper is reporting today. Mr. Martin Afram, the Director for Research at the National Road Safety Commission, speaking after a donation exercise, and that picture is captured there with a story inside the pages on page 16. We'll get to it in a bit. Also on the front page, 597-bed University of Ghana Medical Center lies idle. Beware fake electrical cables inundates market. 70% imported brands substandard. Now, who caused some? Who allowed all these fake cables onto our markets? Perhaps we can go to page 3 first in the Daily Graphic newspaper. It says, in a scheme to rake in profit, several importers of electrical cables are flooding the market with fake products that do not meet critical safety requirements. A nationwide surveillance conducted by the Ghana Standards Authority last Friday revealed that more than 70% of all imported electrical cable brands on the market were substandard and could cause fires. So out of 22 electrical cable brands sampled by laboratory testing, only 2, Roland, out of 22, only 2, wow, which were manufactured locally, passed the critical safety requirement test for conductor resistance at the GCA. You have to read the rest of the story to figure the 2 out. But the point is the 2 are locally manufactured, which means that it's not everything that is made elsewhere apart from Ghana that is good. Because in terms of the cables, what they are saying is buy the made in Ghana cables, because they fit all the tests. That's basically what it is. Yeah. So the details of the story is inside the Graphic. But this story about over 200 school children being killed in road crashes, story said, and this is from January to September this year, 241 from January to September. And the revelation was made by the Director for Research at the National Road Safety Commission. The number represents 11.7% reduction compared to the same period last year, when 273 children were killed. The children who were either knocked down or died in road crashes were among 1,534 road deaths recorded between January and September this year.
The statistics indicate that while 141 of the children were perished or who perished were males, 100 were females. That's not all. There are a lot more of the details. Road traffic fatalities by age as well. There's all that breakdown in the Daily Graphic newspaper. This other story on the front page of the graphic about University of Ghana Medical Center, that is ready really, but nobody is touching it. 1 year after the University of Ghana Medical Center at Legon had been inaugurated, the multi-million-dollar facility is yet to become operational. This is because the Ministry of Health is carrying out due diligence on the facility and how it will be managed. Like, really, that's the excuse why a facility that's everything in there.
Look, the problem we have in Ghana is deep-seated.
Hey. So the 597-bed capacity, which was started in 2012 at a cost of $217 million, was inaugurated by former President John Dramani Mahama in 2016 as part of measures to open the facility to the public. The Minister of Health, Kweku Agyeman-Manu, last week met with members of the interim management board of the center to bring him up to speed on the status of the facility and how best to move to ensure smooth takeoff. So who manages the facility apparently is the reason the facility is not operational. There are other stories inside the Daily Graphic, but let's quickly look at the back page, and then Roland would bring the Daily Guide newspaper. I guess of all the things he's missed on the show, it would be that newspaper. Back page of the graphic, Domaiman.
Hey.
Is that it?
Domaman.
Okay. Revel in Aduana's glory. So that's a football club, and they won a game against Aduana. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it really. Under 20 Women's World Cup qualifier, Princesses cut Kenya to
Aduana
size.
is the champion of the Ghana Premier League. They just ended Ghana Premier League.
Yeah, so it means that they beat them.
No.
They didn't?
I think that Aduana is relatedly from that area.
Oh, so that's the link.
Yeah. So the people in the traditional area are happy because Aduana has a link.
So Domamai is not a football club.
No, Domamai is a traditional area.
So
Domamai is a traditional area.
Oh, shame on me.
No, don't worry.
I'll leave the rest of the details for you. Charlie, there are various club names in Ghana. Sometimes you can't catch up with all of them.
You know, Doma itself, there used to be a club.
So that's in the Buno Hafu region, at least. Yes, I got that right.
Yeah. And they have, you know, the Doma Hene. He's even a judge.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a very vociferous king or chief. It depends on
okay, that would be Osiadeyo Osajifo Agyeman-Manu II. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, all right.
He's a judge, though. He's a practicing judge.
Okay. All right, rest of the story on the back page of the paper. Roland, Daily Guide?
Some quote will do this morning. So let's do the Daily Guide. The Daily Guide has on the front page, Rawlings dumps NDC unity work. I mean, the paper is just telling you that he didn't go. For all the things that the Daily Guide has to report from the NDC's unity work that took place in the Central Regional Capital, Cape Coast, is that the Rawlings factor was absent. That's what they want to tell you. And Muntaka grabs GAN. Access Bank rewards mega draw winners in Ghana, Burkina, deep in ties. But let's look at the main story. It's on page 3 of the paper. It says that after tagging former President John Dramani Mahama and NDC administration as being the most corrupt in the history of Ghana, former President Jerry John Rawlings, founder of the party, stayed away from the much publicized unity walk in Cape Coast yesterday. In what looked like a show of what they have looted from the state, members of the previous government paraded the streets of Cape Coast in luxurious 2017 registered V8 vehicles. Upon seeing those flashy vehicles, the people of Cape Coast hooted at them during and after the walk. Okay. Yo. All right. So I always do the center spread. So today the center spread is full of adverts. So nothing to write or to review. So those will be it. But let's look at the Ghanaian Times before Mamavi looks at the Finder. The Ghanaian Times has on the front page, police on warpath resolved to combat hooliganism, galamseyers, armed robbers, land guards, among others. And AMA, again, demolishes illegal structures at Mensah-Guinea. And I remember the former mayor of Accra, during his period, also demolished illegal structures at Mensah-Guinea. I mean, Mensah-Guinea basically is where we want to have the Marine Drive project. I mean, just behind the
Independence Square, the Black Star.
Yeah, just opposite the National Lotteries area where we have the Arts Center.
Yeah, it's actually, it's quite a long stretch.
Yeah, it's a stretch from Jamestown to Labadi, that kind of stretch to Labadi, yeah. And then we have other stories there. Robbers kill 3, rob bank, mobile money shop at Winchi. Unusual places in Bonafua are good big towns,
Robbers
but they're very quiet.
3.
They kill 3 while robbing mobile money vendor at Winchi. They also robbed the bank in the process, we're told, according to the story. Security man jailed 10 years for possessing weed. In America, smoking weed is illegal in many states, I believe. On the back page of the paper, we have Adriana Stars crowned Premier League champions, and you have a picture there of Osiadio, Osaji for Osiadio Ajima Bedu, the second with the trophy. And this is a story coming from Daniel Jurasa from Domahinkro, the capital of the traditional area, Domahinkro. Adriana Stars, just the crown champions of the just ended Ghana Premier League. We also have Black Princesses thrash Harambee Starlets. Harambee Starlet definitely will have to come from Kenya. Yeah, Harambee. Okay, so those are the stories we have on the front back pages of the Ghanaian Times. Now we have to do the Finder newspaper.
Yeah, the front page of the Finder newspaper. GPHA promotes transit trade in Burkina Faso to increase volumes. Also, the paper is reporting $2.5 million digital addressing system is fraudulent, according to the former President Mahama. Woman whipped by police on her buttocks for resisting sales. Unbelievable. That story is on page 2. We'll get to that. Ghana mourns a genius, world-acclaimed mathematician dies at age 85. You'd remember, if you've been following the news, that Professor Francis Alote died, I think, on Thursday night. But he's the first professor of mathematician. Let me get that correct. Okay, so that story is on page 4. All right. Ghana's first professor of mathematics, and he was not sick and was preparing for a UNESCO conference on Saturday, as in the past Saturday, where he was to be honored, according to a family member who made that revelation. But we know that he died Thursday night after complaining of discomforts.
How old was he?
85. Professor Alote was rushed to the hospital when he complained that he did not feel well. The renowned nuclear physicist was discharged the same day. However, the family rushed him back to the hospital after the discomfort resurfaced in the evening. In less than 30 minutes after arriving at the hospital, Professor Alote passed away around 10 p.m. that same Thursday. All right, now when you read, because it's a whole page dedicated to this man, a great man indeed, it would tell you not just about how he died, but the many great things that he's done. The reason, even though he's dead, we celebrate him today. So it will be good to take time, if you know very little about Professor Alote, to read about him in the paper. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the story on page 2. A woman who's been whipped by police. Who said they could do that? It says a police officer in charge of the Dompim police station in the Takwan Swine municipality of the Western region, Inspector Emmanuel Osei, is alleged to have whipped a female suspect for refusing to enter police cells. The woman, Sarah Dako, 29, was arrested and sent to the station for allegedly slapping another woman in a marital dispute. And according to the victim, the police officer first hit her with a plastic object and later with a stick when she refused to enter the station's cells. Sarah explained that in August this year, she returned from a 2-month trip only to meet her husband and another woman on their matrimonial bed. Out of anger and frustration, Sarah said she slapped the woman, who in turn hit her with a phone. She stated that the matter was reported to an elder in the town and it was amicably settled. You don't want me to give you, you know, all all the juicy stuff, but it's all in the paper. I think what I'm concerned with is no police officer, nobody, I mean, can do that to you. Nobody can whip you. No. You don't do that to a suspect. You don't, never, ever, ever, ever.
Because the suspect has rights. Really.
Yeah, definitely. Even when the person is convicted, they don't say policeman, whip the person. Nope. That's not what they say. Not they either send you to jail, you serve a jail term, and they say probably in hard labor, or they ask you to pay some monies. Nobody, I haven't heard anybody say policeman, whip this person because the person is guilty or something of the sort. But the good thing is that this is under investigation, so it will be good. I don't know, but this all is more like a family matter. All the details here. There's also this story about Achimota School Board going to the Supreme Court over school lands, and you know they've had many land issues with people encroaching on school lands for many years now. That's it for the final newspaper, Roland? Yeah,
so we have to do the Daily Dispatch newspaper. It has on the front page, more MPP vigilante riots recorded, and apparently the total now, 21 incidents since the beginning of the year, January. And that's serious as it could be. And the Daily Dispatch newspaper has those stories well elaborated on the back page of the paper. And the story already has been continued from page 11 of the paper. It says that the Daily Dispatch reported city FMLI analysis of violence exhibited by some MPP vigilante groups in October 27, 2017 in the issue of its publication. The total then was 18. That was just in October 27. Since then, we've had apparently 4 more incidents, and so totally now 21 incidents. Just 4 more incidents. And the latest, I believe, will be when they were electing a district chief executive for in the Krobo area? The Adan area. And then other stories we have. Famous Professor Francis Alote is dead. He comes from Sopong. And then also focus on Chief Justice Directive on judges wearing wigs in courts. All right, so on the back page too, the stories are continued there, and so please make sure that you grab a copy of the Daily Dispatch newspaper, get to know what they're talking about as far as the stories are. Now let's look at the Business and Financial Times. It has on the front page, banks must spare us another energy debt, that's credit consultants. And other stories we have, Bank of Ghana to get tough on RCBs. Okay, and the story is on page 3 of the paper. And so if you just want to read it, please make sure that you grab a copy of the paper. Okay, all right. So we have PNM edges more mergers and acquisitions, and we have Access Bank also rewarding its first mega draw winners. So those are the stories we have on the back page. Though Heritage Bank partners RIA, MoneyGram, and Western Union. Asante Achem Rural Bank posts satisfactory growth, we're told. It's on the back page of the Business and Financial Times. And pretty much that'll be it for the papers we have this morning. Just in case you don't know, please make sure that you grab a copy of those papers, even those not featured, and let us know what you think. As you give us a lot more of your messages on Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We're streaming live there, fortunately. We also have a channel on YouTube, though. Don't forget, My Joy Online TV is our channel on YouTube.
All right, let's do myjoyonline.com. Let's look at what we're reporting on myjoyonline.com today. But we'll take you to the BBC. I think 2 stories of interest. One you're already seeing, the fact that apparently the Queen's personal monies have been invested in you know some foreign account, but we're told that she's not personally aware of it.
Yeah, usually there's a financial team.
So it's been invested elsewhere. But are we doing BBC before we do myjoyonline.com? I thought we'll do myjoyonline.com and then come back to this properly. Okay, all right. So on myjoyonline.com. Refuse engulfed Tema Community 1 streets. Roland is close to Tema, so you would know. There are photos of it on myjoyonline.com. Substandard electrical cables flooded market. Standards Authority cautions. 27 dead in Texas church shooting. We'll get into a lot more details when we touch base with the BBC page. Morata's header gives dominant Chelsea victory over Manchester United. Oh yeah, whatever. Yay. I think Manchester United could have just easily drawn this game.
Did you watch it?
I did. I watched to the end. There was.
Well, there were chances to both sides, I should say. So if either of them, Rashford had some good chances too, and if they had taken those chances, we wouldn't be talking today about it. It was, anyway. But I think the British public itself is just biased against Manchester United. So
Mahama condemns AC Boateng's apology of an apology letter. Roland, you've been away. You heard about this?
Yeah, I just had a preview of it this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
And well, I think
was the apology real?
I think it was exacted from the gentleman. Because if he had wanted to apologize, he would have done that 2 days before the time, because it was on the third day, that's when he apologized.
I heard a lot of analysis over the weekend. You know, there were a lot of talk shows on Saturday.
Yes.
And the emphasis has been on the beginning of the apology letter, upon sober reflection. So he sat back, reflected, and...
No. But it's normal after 3 days. It means that you took 3 days. The thing is your mentality.
Yeah.
Is that your mentality? Once somebody draws your attention the first time, you don't find it remorseful, or you don't find anything wrong with what you said, then the apology is just an afterthought. Because he had been on media to emphasize that there was nothing that was going to make him back down on his position and his utterances. So, I don't know.
I think maybe going forward, what we should ask, because the debate has been... So the point is, if he didn't willingly do it, doesn't matter, because the letter is out there.
Well, if he didn't willingly do it, it means that for his person, he may not believe in, he still stands by what he said the first time. The apology is just for the criticism against him and what he said, and then perhaps maybe for the delay of government's inaction or the president's inaction on the subject. But for me, I'm really not in a position of him being sacked. I don't think that.
Because that's also the other angle.
I don't think that the West thing has been said in Ghana's body politic. But I think that for somebody who is an ambassador or somebody who is representing Ghana, because he's said to be a high commissioner, those things that we say in the backyard, on our platforms, in our homes, in our private conversation, should not be said in public. We all say all things. Okay,
let's finish off. Otherwise, let's just do the BBC. 2.5 million 419 Ghana Post GPS. Pitiful, embarrassing. So, former President Mahama has been speaking a lot on current happenings in our country. It will be good when Roland settles with his guest on AM Talk. Let's quickly do the BBC before Benedict sacks us from this place. Okay, so first, let's deal with this matter about the Texas church shooting that has left some 27 dead. We'll try and see if we can play this video for you, but story says that at least 26 people have been killed and 20 others wounded after a gunman opened fire at a Texas church during service Sunday. And this is a small community of about, I've heard some people say 400, others say 600. So it's pretty much almost like a village, if you like, outskirts of, you know, the main towns. And the attack happened at the First Baptist Church, a small town in Wilson County. The victims' age ranged from 5 to 72, those who are dead. Okay, so let's just listen to officials giving details on the church mass shooting.
A suspect was seen at a Valero gas station in Sutherland Springs, Texas. He was dressed in all black. That suspect crossed the street to the church, exited his vehicle, and began firing at the church. That suspect then moved to the right side of the church and continued to fire. That suspect entered the church and continued to fire. As he exited the church, a local resident grabbed his rifle and engaged that suspect. The suspect dropped his rifle, which was a Ruger AR assault type rifle and fled from the church. Our local citizen pursued the suspect at that time. As law enforcement responded, that suspect, right at the Wilson, Guadalupe County line, he ran off the roadway and crashed out and was found deceased in his vehicle. At this time, we don't know if it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if he was shot by our local resident who engaged him in gunfire. We know he's deceased in the vehicle. The suspect has not been completely identified. We believe he's a young white male, maybe in his early 20s. He was dressed in all black tactical type gear and was wearing a ballistic vest.
So, you know, usually the police wouldn't give you, they would only give you things that they can absolutely verify, but you know the media would go behind. So when you look at the story on the BBC page, they're telling you a lot more about the guy, this guy who was involved in the shooting. And he's identified as a white male. He's 26, and he's reported to have been discharged from the U.S. Air Force in 2014 following a court-martial for assaulting his wife and child. So be sure that there are a lot more news that will come out, more updates and what is current on this issue. Absolutely sad. I mean, it was unbelievable when I first heard the story yesterday. You know, like imagine that you're just in church worshiping God and giving praises, and just somebody just enters and starts shooting. In the end, manages to kill 26 and 20. You know, injured in that
I think
process.
We should go to the Twitter handle of Donald Trump and see what he's saying about the shooting.
Would he? He's on a tour of Asia.
Yeah.
Yesterday he was in Japan.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the other story. The other story with the taxes, and then we probably can just run off. I'll read a few of your messages that you've been sending. A lot of people saying welcome back, Roland. So a huge new leak of financial document has revealed how the powerful and ultra wealthy, including the Queen's private estate, secretly invest vast amounts of cash in offshore tax havens. If you've been following the BBC's panorama, yesterday I watched the TV version of it. I think it was part 1 of it. Very detailed. Very detailed. Very detailed. So you know that there are a group of investigative journalists who, when these things happen, the document just, you know, they kind of send the documents to them and then they look at it critically. So this is one of the... I
think they call it the Paradise Leaks or something.
Yeah, this particular one. Yeah. All right. So there's also a very powerful person.
Emanated from just a small investigative journalist outfit in Germany that first exposed the initial one. You know, in Ghana, they said some ministers were even involved in offshore account investment, etc., from president.
Yeah, there's another person who's been involved in this. His name is Lord Ashcroft. He's a former Conservative Party deputy chairman, but also a significant donor. I mean, he's really dusted, and he's a very visible person in Donald Trump's administration. He holds a very important position. He's also been drawn in this. So essentially, people kind of just invest their monies elsewhere just to evade taxes, and they continue to live rich. I ask myself, so if you're really, really rich, what prevents you from paying your tax? Because if those of us who are down there are still paying, then you won't feel anything even if you pay. So why would you pay?
It
doesn't make sense.
Because they have money, they have to pay more.
Wow.
Based on what they have.
So they continue to live big, whilst really they actually don't contribute to the countries where they are. So if you have
on
time,
the ratio of what they have, but they do contribute in big taxes. Only that.
No,
on the
what
ratio,
they do is
based on the ratio of what they have.
strategic donations. They make big donations to people who are pursuing political careers, because in the end they get big deals out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it is.
It happens in the West too.
Yeah, it happens everywhere. I mean, it started from there. We're just copying them. We're just copying what they're doing. All right, let's see. Just a few of your messages, and then, I said, welcome back, Roland. Welcome back. All the messages are welcome back, Roland. I and my family really miss you so much. Justice Kofi Jomaku from Ho is sending this message. This one says, where are you? Okay. When will we have the Habitat Fair edition in Sekondi, Takrady? We can't wait to have you. Patrick in Adiambra. So what it is we've done Accra, we've done Kumasi. Takrade, it's good that you've sent this message. We'll pass it on to the crew that organizes it. This one says, good morning, Mr. Roland. You're welcome back.
Thank you.
My main man.
Thank you.
I'm very happy we're together with you again from Bawa Adams in Tamale. What do you say? Let's come back and read the reunion messages after sports.
After sports, definitely. So Benedict also will be here with the latest highlights, not only from the English Premier League, but also La Liga, the Italian league, and also
we had our homegrown league as well.
No, our league has ended.
Has it?
Yeah, it has.
Charlie, the league is like a ghost.
Yeah, it
you don't know when it starts.
It climax with the FA Cup after the league, and then they play the FA Cup.
See, the interesting thing is, it's only when there's a courts issue
that you get,
and then you say, "Oh, the league has late. It's not going to start because there's this one court issue or the other." But actually, when it takes off, you hardly hear anything, and when it ends, I didn't even know.
You see, huh?
Amazing. Oh, so that's why the Doma Township is celebrating because Adriana won the league.
And they took the cup to the traditional.
I am so lost.